We've talked on Break Brad before about conspiracy theories, video games, energy companies, but today's video is going to be about something that is near and dear to my heart, or should I say my stomach, because today we're going to be talking about food. I'm specifically going to be talking today about snack food, and more specifically, savoury snack food. I don't have much of a sweet tooth. I'm more of a savoury person. I much prefer tucking into a bag of crisps than eating a pile of chocolate. There's a lot of situations where you don't get as much variety in terms of savoury food as you do for snack food. Like, think of the sweet aisles in shops. You've got tons of different sweet snacks. You've got all of the various, like, you got the candy sweets, you've got the gummy sweets, and then you've got all these different types of chocolates, all these different types of cakes, all these different types of things. And when you think about savoury, what have you got? You've got, like, crisps, nuts, nachos, which are basically just crisps, potato chips for anyone in America. I don't know what do they call them in other English-speaking countries? Are crisps or potato chips favoured? I actually don't know this. Let me know in the comments, whatever country you're from, what do they call potato chips / crisps?
Get in the comments!
I'm almost perpetually on a diet. I always want to get more into shape, but the problem is I like food. I can't really blame anything other than the fact that I like food. And I'll do well, I'll diet really well, and then suddenly a new snack comes out and I just have to have it. So I have this rule where I'm only allowed to buy a snack food if I've never had it before. I introduced this rule because I wanted to still be able to have the variety. I like trying new things, but I didn't want to have to worry about just constantly buying, like, oh, I'm going to get the same tube of Pringles that I've had many times before. So my current rule, I'm only allowed to have snacks if I've never had them. And this would be fine, except for the fact that I've had almost all of the snacks that they sell in most supermarkets. Like, I'm 32 now. I've just had my birthday. For me, recording a few days ago, but for you, probably a couple of weeks back. So happy birthday, Brad. I'm now 32, and I've obviously been interested in snack food for my entire life, so I've had a lot of these snacks. I go into, like, Morrison's, or I go into Tesco, and I walk around and look at the snack aisle. Like, I'm in the mood for a snack, but I can't have something that I've had before, because that's not my rule. And, I mean, I guess it's a good rule in that way, like, it stops me from snacking, but it's frustrating when you walk around. It's like, oh, the same 4 or 5 flavours of Pringles. Oh, look, the same 4 or 5 flavours of Walkers. Oh, look, the same 4 or 5 types of peanut. And it just gets so irritating. The main reason I wanted to make this video is because for my birthday, a few days before, my mum came to visit, and she and I went driving around to some shops that I don't normally get to go to because I live far away from them. And one of those is a international supermarket that's in Sheffield called Osmond's. And I used to live near there a few years back, and I used to love going there because I used to get a chance to get all of these different products and snacks and things that I otherwise wouldn't be able to access because it's an international supermarket. Like, sometimes the price is a bit higher, and I've noticed recently that a lot of stuff's a bit out of date. But I got to try like 5 or 6 new things, and that was great. The problem is, like I said, it's a bit far away. And what I used to do to try new products was I used to go to the cheap shops. So every country will have these. You've got your main supermarkets, which are, a decent-ish value. And then you have your cheap shops. And those cheap shops, like, the point of them is like, oh, these products are, no longer the main lines. Like, they're not being sold in big supermarkets. Or they're closer to their use-by dates so that we'll be able to sell them for cheaper. But when I used to go to them, they used to have, like, a wide variety of snacks. They used to have all these different things that were no longer supplied in the supermarkets. That I used to walk in and walk down the aisles and be like, oh my God, never seen that before. Oh, I missed that when it was in the shops. I used to be able to buy that and try that thing. Nowadays, every single cheap shop stocks the same shit. And it's getting ridiculous. I don't understand why. Because you walk into any cheap shop nowadays, like if you walk into Poundland, or you walk into Home Bargains, or you walk into B&M Bargains, or you walk into like Pound Stretcher, and you look across all the stuff they've got, and it's always the same 5 or 6 different brands that they still sell in supermarkets, like hula hoops, discos. They're always the same, and it never used to be like that. And I used to like walking into a cheap shop with no idea of what I was going to find. Like, on occasion, you will get something different. Like, the Home Bargains near me has a snack section, and occasionally they'll start stocking a new thing, and That's great, that's nice for me, except they'll start stocking that thing, and then they'll never fucking stop. And that thing is on the shelves for so long that it's like, well, I've had it now, and I'm not allowed to have it again by my rule. These are all very much my problems. I get this. There's probably people listening, like, I know I said there's a lot of people going to resonate with this, and I imagine there are. There's a lot of people who have a savoury tooth and are a bit annoyed that, the variety of savoury snacks is shit compared to sweet, and that it's very difficult to try and find new things, especially when you know for a fact that around the world there's so many new things. But I know that this is a me issue, and I know that there are going to be people watching this who are like, oh my god, get over it. Some people don't have access to the amount of stuff that you have access to. But we're allowed to have our own problems in our own lives, and this is one of mine. The one about the discount shops just annoys me so much now, because first of all, the discount shops, this is something that is not really on topic, but the discount shops are now pretty much the same price as the supermarkets. So what are you offering? The whole point is that you're meant to offer things cheaper. But if you're going to keep raising your prices, or I guess the supermarkets lower the prices, to the point where they're the same, then you're just another supermarket. You don't have a niche. Like, your thing could be, we've got things that other people don't have. Maybe try that one instead.
No.
I went into Poundland recently for the first time in quite a while, because I never lived near a Poundland when I was in Cambridge. And I went in there, and what's the one thing everybody knows about Poundland? Everything costs £1. It's the way it's been. But it doesn't now. Everything doesn't cost £1. It costs £2 or £3 or £4. I thought, like, 'cause they used to have a section that was like more expensive deals, and they would have like a few things that were £2 or £3. Now, the entire shop is different prices. It's not Poundland anymore. Change your fucking name. You don't sell things for £1. It's not everything's £1.
Why must you turn my office into a house of lies?
Early days, when Poundland first opened, you would go in, and there would be a sign up that would say, you don't need to ask the price. Everything's £1. It's like, nowadays, no, it's not. And you never know what you're picking up. Like, I picked up a pair of socks thinking they were £1. £3! And it was 2 pairs of socks, £3. I could go to other shops and get that cheaper. Like, your value is gone, and you still don't stock rare snacks. No, to be fair to Poundland, I went in there recently because I haven't been in there for a while, and they did have some stuff I'd never had before, but they also had the same shit as everyone else, so I only got to try 2 or 3 new things. And this is, the snack problem is much more of a problem at Christmas. Christmas time, ooh. When Christmas shopping, Christmas food and stuff comes onto the shelves, you're greeted with a plethora of amazing things you can try. And you walk down the aisle and you mince pies. Oh, they've got 5 or 6 different types of mince pies. Ooh, various different festive style cakes. Ooh, all these different chocolate, and aisles of chocolate, and chocolates that just rebranded to Christmas, or new chocolate you don't get to see all the different types of chocolate orange, all these different selection boxes, all these things that are, special Christmas offers. And then you get to the end of the aisle, and in the fucking corner, on the bottom 2 shelves, the savoury section.
What the fuck?
And they've got, turkey and stuffing flavoured mix packs, and they've got pigs in blankets flavoured crisps, and that's fucking it. That's all they have. And me, as someone who prefers the savoury food, part of me's do they think, oh, well, the Christmas dinner is savoury. You can have normal pigs in blankets. You can have this. You can have that. You don't need more savoury snacks. It's no, give me more savoury snacks, please. That's all I want in my life. It's all I want. No. And it's not the fact there's less options when it comes to savoury snacks. It's the fact that when they do bring out new savoury snacks, they're always the same shit. Maybe this is just a UK thing, because if I look on, the American websites for things like Pringles and stuff, they always have loads of different types. And whenever, we get, the limited edition, they sometimes do, the travel ones, the passport Pringles and stuff, and they bring new ones out, there are different types that exist. But these, existing brands will bring something out and be brand new product, brand new, and it'll be a flavour that they've either had out before, a year ago, or just one that another brand already has that's better. And it's why do this?
Why?
There's not a limited number of... Make new ones! Chili and lime never used to be a big flavour, and now it's all over the place. Just find some new combinations. Do chili and peanut butter. That works for satay shit. Just Stop bringing the same crap. I know what it is. I know what the reason is. It's because people won't buy the new stuff. People won't want to... I'm rare. I like to try new things. And I don't get annoyed if I try something new and I don't like it. Because in my mind, I've had an experience, even if it was a bad experience. Let me give you an example. I mentioned that we went to the international supermarket last week. I bought something called fermented carrot juice. And I bought it thinking, ooh, maybe this is a type of exotic drink from another country. Perhaps, maybe, I'll find something delicious that I'll get to enjoy. And I poured a little bit out for me, for my mum, and for Nisha, who was over at the time. And we all took a sip. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever had fermented carrot juice, but it's fucking disgusting. It's like drinking bin juice, but bin juice that's been made from, like, compost. Like, if you put a lot of rotten food in a bag, leave it for weeks, and then squeeze a little bit of it out. And I should have realised this. It's called fermented carrot juice. But in my mind, I was like, there's all these weird kind of drinks that they have in places that I'm not familiar with, and I wanted to try it. I looked it up because I was like, how can this thing exist? How is this a product? And it turns out that I think it's meant to be like good for you, like the same way people say that you should drink like apple cider vinegar, and it's supposedly good for parts of your body. I think that's the reason. But oh my god, all of us nearly threw up. I felt sick for about half an hour at least. But I don't feel bad for having done that, because I tried something new and I didn't like it, but I learned something from it. I learned that something exists. I learned that's what something does. I tried it. I know not to try it in the future. I enjoy that experience, but I know a lot of people don't. So when it comes to bringing out new snacks, the company's going to look at the shelves and go, what's popular? What do people buy? Oh, prawn cocktail. Prawn cocktail's a big flavour. Let's bring out our own prawn cocktail. And I do get that, but like when you go to international supermarkets or you find a cheap shop that's got all of these other products, it makes you wonder why there's so many options around the world, and yet we're still stuck with the same shit all the time. I really enjoy eating like seaweed thins, like those snacks you get that are like little squares of seaweed. Those things, they taste really nice, they have a really nice flavour, and they have fuck all calories. Like, you can eat as many of them as you want. You'd have to eat like 5 or 6 packs just to get to the point where it was a problem. So I enjoy those because it's like the tactile sensation of eating something and having that flavour, but it's not the calories that you would get from eating other snacks. They do sell those in supermarkets. They sell I think it's Itsu is the brand, but they only sell like 3 different variations. Are you telling me there's no ways that people can like branch out from those angles? Maybe I'm just going to the wrong shops. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's loads of places that I can get all this stuff and I'm just complaining because the Morrison's is 5 minutes away. The problem with doing these ones that are unstructured is that I'm going off on one. I don't think I'm making my point very well. I probably just sound like somebody just whining about the smallest issues. But that's the point of Break Brad. I'm not meant to whine about the real issues. I'm meant to complain about the little things so that I can just get them out. I'll vent them, I'll get them going, and then I can get on with my day. I can get on with my day of doing important things, and all of that stuff just gets flushed out, and other people can listen to me go on about these things, and they can be like, yes, I agree, I very much agree with you, and then they can also go about their day knowing that other people suffer the same way they do. But there's one more thing I want to talk about, and this thing is genuinely what I think is one of the most frustrating things about snack food, and everybody will also have experienced this. So when it comes to advertising snack products, one thing that people always like to do is make them sound like they're going to be punchy and amazing and strong, and they even name the products these things. So like Walkers have like the Walkers Max range, or like Max Strong range, and all that kind of thing, like full on flavour. And when you buy them, no, they're not. They're fucking not. Like, the most disappointing one recently was like, I think it's like a crinkled Max Strong ribs range or something. They brought out this rib one. Full on flavour, strong, amazing. And then when you eat it, they don't taste of anything. Don't lie to me. I like strong flavours. I like foods that are strong. Don't be like, the strongest product of all, and it just fucking tastes of nothing. No. If you're going to advertise a product as having a strong taste, it has to have a strong taste. Otherwise, it's false advertising, and I'm going to sue you. Fix your product. Put a bit more flavour in. Stop being so stingy. We only get a few, like, good things in our lives. Like, the world at the moment is falling to shit. You know what? Let's get into a serious conversation. Let's stop talking about food, right? The world at the moment is shit. There's so many bad things going on everywhere. I'm not going to go into detail, but even in my own life, like the fact that I'm afraid to put my heating on in the winter because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to afford the bill. Something happened in December where I ended up not having any gas for a few days, and the gas company gave me compensation for that. That compensation was like, it felt like a good thing. Like, I have received some money that I can use to actually live and to be able to not feel guilty for trying to warm my flat up a little bit. Like, I shouldn't have to not nearly freeze to death. Like, the city shouldn't have to nearly freeze to death. People are gonna die from not having heating, and we shouldn't have to live through that, just have enough money to survive. And it's only gonna get worse. It's like, the same thing's going to happen in a few months' time when it gets to, like, was it April or May, when they get rid of the restriction and stuff. And the gas companies and the electric companies are out there, like, boasting record profits and yet still claiming that the money needs to rise. Stop it! There are people dying! Just give up! Anyway, the world is shit. Things are going bad. Everyone's miserable. I don't think I've talked to a single person who hasn't had something to moan about. And everybody's issues, obviously, they're going to be vastly different. Some people's issues are way worse. Like, I have a flat that I live in. I've got a roof over my head. I have the option to put the heating on. Some people living on the streets. And it's always like, I know everyone always say it's an unfair thing to try and compare yourself to people who have less, because everybody's lives are relative. You can have a problem, and that is a problem in your life. And even the richest people in the world will have problems. Look at Elon Musk. He's clearly got some problems. And that doesn't mean that anyone's problems are less valuable. So me complaining about these snack foods, like, for me, that's a little joy in my life. Being able to try new foods, being able to go out to the shop and see that there's something new on the shelf that I get to experience. Like, one of the reasons why I'm overweight is because I like trying new things like that. If I see a new product on the shelf that I've not had and it looks nice, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to try it. It's how I get some of the joy in my life. And that's why that kind of thing frustrates me. And people are allowed to be frustrated because we've all got so much shit going on that we all just want a little bit of happiness. So please bring out more than pigs in blankets snacks at Christmas. And the turkey ones as well. You know, it's... I don't want this series to be about serious shit, because that's not the point. It's meant to be a bit of, like, light-hearted entertainment for people, and just for me. But it's so irritating that there's problems in the world, and people just aren't doing anything. The people that have the power just don't do anything. And I just... This is meant to be a nice video about food, and it just reminds me that why am I complaining about this? Because it's one of the few pleasures that I do get in my life. Like, people who make snacks, just stop being boring. And shops that stock them, stop being dull, get some new stuff in. Or, you know, I'll just have to keep going to the international supermarket and trying their things. It's like when Pringles brought out their new range, like their spicy range. I can't remember what it was called. It was Sizzling, their Sizzling range. And then when they brought it out with 3 flavours. One of those flavours was sour cream and onion. We have that! It's called sour cream and onion! You're just bringing the same shit out again with some spice on it. I can put some chili powder on it and achieve the same fucking effect. Or have it with hot salsa. America, they got buffalo. We don't have buffalo Pringles. I want some buffalo Pringles.
Fuck you.
If you enjoy these kind of videos and the other stuff that's on the Untitled side channel that the team and I make, we have a Patreon, and that Patreon will have extras. I might record an extra mini Break Brad. We're trying to give the people on the Patreon like a thank you. We're trying to give them some more stuff. So if you want to watch that, then I'll try and schedule out the same day as this. So if you join the Patreon, there'll be another extra available from the $1 tier and up. And subscribe, follow. Break Brad is one of the series that I've got loads of ideas for it. So I imagine this one will be quite regularly occurring. So subscribe and you'll get to see more of those. I hope everyone out there is doing good. Like, I've said, if I left it in, I've said about how shit things are at the moment for everyone. And I hope that whoever's out there, whoever's watching this, I hope that things are going well. Remember that things can always be worse and things can always get better. So just, chin up, push on, and hopefully things will improve. And if not, then I guess you'll have to look forward to the next one of these, where you can nod along as I complain about little things again. Just want to give a big thank you to all of the patrons who are helping to keep this the cha-cha slide alive. So this is the kind of thing we should put in, shouldn't it?
The cha-cha slide alive.
Yes, we have an intimate knowledge of all of our patrons. They're all experts at the cha-cha slide. But you know who's even better at the cha-cha slide?
Who?
The VIPs.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah.
VIPs.
I have never seen such a good cha-cha slide than I've seen from Red Arrows.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw a clip of them with Patrick Bratson.
Good Star Nation. I've seen them before. They were hanging out with Benjamin Fridman, Shay Pinder, and Mile High Farmed. Farmed.
Oh, yeah, I think they've all started a YouTube channel together, haven't they?
Really?
It's called Serapol.
Oh, that's a really cool name. That reminds me of that channel that was run by Liam and Aero QC before, the allegations.
Wait, what allegations?
Well, I heard that one of them was seen doing a different channel with Jet Road that was called Kynan Plays Games.
Oh, they were playing that game called Bingo.
Yeah, they were playing Bingo, but they played that monetized one called Little Bear.
And Popsicle Tart, because I really want to play that one.
Oh, Popsicle Tart looks really good. It's the one with that rotoscope mechanic.
And that Chanel wagon.
I think it was developed by Andy Ellis.
Oh yeah, Andy Ellis. Yeah, I've heard of that name. They also produced that Netflix series Samuel Chester.
Oh yeah, it starred Jacob Ursenbach as Armite 1.
And that my favourite character was Anna Goo.
Oh, Anna Goo was fantastic. They were the Fez wearer, weren't they?
Yeah. No, they were fighting against the Onyxia.
Yay! Unseen. If you haven't heard your name mentioned, we're going to be doing a few of these for the patron shout-outs. So watch every video and you'll find your name at the end somewhere. This is fun.
Wow.